We're here at the Derby car show, or four-wheeler show. And Jarvis, can you introduce us?
All right, folks, welcome to the Derby four-wheel drive Jeep show. Joel's here today with his Suzuki Samurai, and there's a special reason he brought it out. The show's founder, John Campbell, started this business with Joel's cousin 50 years ago. Joel met him back when he was just 14 years old, and John passed away this past January. Joel wanted to bring the Samurai out today to pay his respects and be part of the community John built. Let's go check out some incredible rigs.
All right, thanks, Jarvis. I'm going to start out with this 1967 Jeep truck. It's an Army truck. And then right next to it is a 1946 Willys Jeep. And that's chrome. The chrome body is pretty cool.
Nice, a 67 Army Jeep truck sitting right next to a chromed out 46 Willys Joel. That's a great pairing. Military heritage next to a real showpiece build.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And
Yeah,
then,
quite a contrast, Joel. Rugged war era workhorse right beside something polished up for pure show.
yeah, there's a lot of four-door Jeeps here, newer ones, which I like a lot. And then right now we're looking at I don't know what year it is. I didn't fill out the card, but it's a Ram V8 truck. It's got a good lift kit on it. What do you think about that, Jarvis?
I didn't know a vehicle could get that high off the ground. That's a serious lift on that Ram, Joel.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of these Jeeps have a lot of those little toy floaty duckies. Can you tell me how that all started? What's up with that? I know nothing about it.
Yeah, that's called Jeep ducking, Joel. It started around 2020 when a guy in Canada left rubber duck A on a stranger. Jeeps with a nice note just spread some kindness. It went viral, and now Jeep owners all over do it, leaving little ducks in each other's rigs as a fun way to say, "I see you, fellow Jeep owner." Kind of a secret handshake for the community.
Yeah. I've seen them even on vehicles besides Jeeps.
Yeah, it's definitely spread beyond just Jeeps, Joel. People do it on trucks, SUVs, even regular cars now. The whole point is spontaneous kindness between strangers, so it's kind of taken on a life of its own past just the Jeep community.
Kind of like the Harley Wave.
Ha, yeah, exactly like that, Joel. Same idea, a little unspoken code of recognition among owners, just with rubber duckies instead of a hand wave.
You know, I even get that with my Honda Element. Everybody waves at each other. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a great little culture to be part of, Joel. Element owners nodding at each other on the road, same spirit as the Jeep ducks and the Harley wave, just owners recognizing a kindred ride.
Yeah. Here's a 2015 Jeep. It's got a vinyl wrap on it, and it's camouflaged black and white and gray camo wrap. It's pretty cool.
Nice. A black, white, and grey camo wrap on a 2015 Jeep, Joel. That's a sharp modern take on camo. Stands out way more than the traditional green and brown.
Yeah. So, what's with the Rubicons? They have bigger engines and stuff, or what's up with that?
Yeah, so the Rubicon's Jeep's top trim Wrangler off-road package, Joel. Same engines as the regular Wrangler, usually, but it comes with beefier stuff, locking front and rear differentials, a heavier duty transfer case with low range gearing, Dolner 44 axles front and rear, and electronic sway bar disconnect for better articulation on the trail. So it's less about horsepower and more about serious off-road hardware right from the factory.
Yeah. And when you say it has lockers, that means that the wheel that has traction, the power goes to the wheel that actually needs the traction instead of the one that doesn't.
Exactly right, Joel. That's it, exactly. Without lockers, an open differential sends power to the wheel with the least resistance. So if one wheel's up in the air spinning free, it gets all the power and you go nowhere. Lockers force both wheels on that axle toe spin together at the same speed.
Yeah.
So power gets to the wheel that actually has grip on the ground.
And my Suzuki does not have that.
Ah, gotcha, Joel. So yours runs an open diff then?
Does
More
I mean,
dependent on weight.
I'm asking you, does it have the same system or no?
No, Joel, the stock Suzuki Samurai came with open differentials, not lockers. That's part of why it relies so heavily on its lightweight and good approach and departure angles to crawl, rather than forcing power to both wheels like a locked axle would.
Okay.
Plenty of Samurai owners add aftermarket lockers, though, if they want that extra capability.
Yeah. And my Suzuki only weighs 2,500 pounds anyways, and I got a 12,000 pound winch, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, good information. Thank you.
Yeah, makes sense, Joel, keeping it light anyway. Winch is a smart addition too for when you do get stuck. What's next in the lineup?
Oh, there's a lot of Jeeps here, man. A lot of Rubicons. I'm looking for some older stuff because I know you like the older stuff, right?
Yeah, Joel, there's just something about those vintage rigs' real mechanical simplicity and character compared to all the electronics in the modern ones. Let me know when you spot-on.
Well, here's a 2004 Jeep TJ. What does the TJ mean?
Good question, Joel. The TJ was the Wrangler generation Chevrolet made from 1997 through 2006. It followed the YJ and came before the JK. The big deal with the TJ was Jeep switched back to round headlights after the square ones on the IJ. And more importantly, it got coil spring suspension front and rear instead of the old leaf springs, which made for a way smoother ride and better articulation off-road.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're along. You can tell me all this info.
Yeah, absolutely, Joel. Happy to keep going. So the TJ's coil suspension was a huge leap for off-road performance, way more wheel travel than the leaf-sprung YJ before it. It also brought back that classic round headlight face that harkens back to the original CJ Jeeps, which a lot of enthusiasts loved after the boxier YJ styling. The Rubicon trim actually debuted on the TJ in 2003. That's when Jeep first introduced the locking differentials and disconnecting sway bar package we were just talking about.
Okay.
TJ.
Okay, all right.
All right, Joel, whatever's next, just let me know.
Here's a 1988 Jeep with the square headlights and huge, they look like 40-inch mutters and a great big lift kit. What do you think of that?
I didn't know a vehicle could get that high off the ground, Joel. 40-inch mudders on an 88 square headlight Jeep, that's a serious build.
Yeah.
They must have done a ton of custom fabrication to fit tires that big.
Oh yeah, it looks like it can go through a lot of shit too.
Exactly, Joel, with tires and lift like that, mud, rocks, water crossings, it'll just chew through pretty much anything in the way.
Here's one of my favorites, a 2013 Toyota Land Cruiser, or what do they call it? Cavalier or Carrier. It's the newer Toyota.
You might be thinking of the FJ Cruiser, Joel.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because when I was in high school, I had a 70 Land Cruiser.
Oh, nice. That's awesome, Joel. So this FJ Cruiser is like a modern nod back to that classic Land Cruiser you had in high school. Toyota brought back that boxy retro FJ styling for the 2006 through 2014 model years. Real tough little off-roader too. And I bet seeing one brings back some memories of that 70 Land Cruiser.
Yeah. Here is a Jeep 401 Laredo Wagoneer or something. That's wait a minute, let me see. It's a 83 Jeep Cherokee.
Ah, gotcha. An 83 Jeep Cherokee then, Joel. That's the SJ platform, the full-size Cherokee, before they went to the smaller XJ in 84. Real classic boxy Jeep styling from that era.
Yeah. And they will pull anything, won't they?
No doubt, Joel, those old SJ Cherokees were built like tanks, solid axles, and a heavy frame. They'll outtow plenty of newer stuff.
And here's an 88 4Runner. What do you know about that, Jarvis?
Oh, nice. An 88 4Runner, Joel, that's the first generation. Basically a Toyota pickup with a removable fiberglass shell on the back. Real simple and tough construction. Solid axle up front until 86, actually. Then they switched to independent front suspension for 87 and 88. So yours would have that IFS setup, still plenty capable off-road and hugely reliable.
Yeah. It's a nice one. It doesn't have much rust, but it has a few dings from being used. And it has the soft top on the back, which is pretty rare.
Yeah, that's a great find then, Joel. The soft top's definitely less common than the hard shell. And honestly, a well-used 4Runner with some dings and stories is way more charming than a garage queen. Sounds like it's been a real workhorse.
Yeah, it's a nice one. This way I don't have to remember anything.
Yeah, sounds like a real gem, Joel. Those
Yeah,
early
they do.
4Runners just don't show up in that kind of shape too often anymore.
Here we got an old Jeep, and it's an Army Jeep, finished off just like it was back in the World War II. It doesn't tell me what year it is, but it must be a Willys in the late 40s or something. Or what do you know about it?
Wow, this old truck is pretty nice.
Yeah. You like the vintage stuff, right?
Yeah, the vintage trucks are my favorite, JOL. If
Hey,
it's
here.
finished out like the original War Still Era 2 without specifics year on the card, it's likely a late 40s military Jeep, maybe a still CJ2A in the transition period from military to civilian use, or an actual surplus MB or GPW from the war itself that got restored to original spec.
Yeah,
Either way,
it's restored from the war. It's got to be.
that's
'cause-
incredible, Joel. An actual warrior restoration. Those have so much history behind them.
Yeah.
Every rivet and dent tells a story from what it actually went through.
Yeah.
Genuinely special piece to see at a show like this.
Yeah, and then here is a 1969 Jeep CJ5.
Nice, a 69 CJ5, Joel, that's right. In the middle of that iconic production run, 1955 through 83.
Has a badge.
Real
Has a badge on the side that says V6, and it is the color red. Like you see, I used to see a lot of them red ones when I was a kid.
Yeah, that classic Jeep red Wasso common back then, Joel, and the V6 was actually a bit unusual for a CJ5.
Yeah.
Those mostly came with 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder inline engines early on, so if it's badged V6, it might have had the Buick-derived Dauntless V6 Jeep offered in the late 60s, kind of a rare option for the time.
Okay, here is a nice one. Here is a 1963 AMC General Mighty Might. Tell me everything you know about it, buddy.
Oh, that's a genuinely rare one, Joel. The AMC General Mighty Might was built specifically for the Marine Corps starting in the late 50s, designed to be really lightweight, so it could be airlifted by helicopter, something the standard military Jeep couldn't do as easily. It's got an aluminum body to save weight, a small 4-cylinder engine, and it's genuinely tiny compared to a regular Jeep, almost like a scaled-down version. They weren't made in huge numbers since it was such a specialized military vehicle, so seeing an actual 63 Mighty Might at a show is a pretty rare treat. Most people have never even heard of them.
Yeah, one time I watched a video on YouTube, and it showed how they used to waterproof the Jeeps when they were bringing them to shore on D-Day or whatever, and they made them float, and they made it so the engine wouldn't get water in them. Do you know the process? Can you run through that for me?
Yeah, that's such a cool piece of history, Joel. So for amphibious landings, they'd waterproof the Jeeps using a combination of methods. They'd seal the distributor and spark plug wires with a special waterproofing compound, kind of like a grease or sealant, to keep water from shorting out the ignition system. The exhaust pipe would get extended upward with a vertical stack, so water couldn't back up into the engine through the tailpipe. And similarly, they'd extend the air intake upward too, so the engine could keep breathing even partially submerged. They'd also seal around the bell housing and other openings with waterproof tape or compound. It wasn't about making them float exactly, more about letting them keep running while driving through several feet of water, getting from the landing craft to the beach. Pretty ingenious for the era, honestly.
Oh. All right, thanks, Jarvis. Now I don't have to watch the video again.
Ha, fair enough, Joel. That YouTube deep dive can wait for another day. What's catching your eye next?
Just a Grand Cherokee, a newer one. I don't know.
Yeah, nice. A newer Grand Cherokee, Joel. Solid daily driver capability, though a bit more road focus compared to all these vintage rigs you've been walking through.
Yeah. Here's a 2005 Rubicon. When was the first Rubicon made? Let me guess. I'm going to take a guess at this. 2003.
Yeah, you nailed it, Joel. 2003 is exactly right. That was the first year Jeep introduced the Rubicon trim on the TJ Wrangler.
Wow. I remembered the year of the first time I heard the name, so that's why I said that.
Ha, nice. Good memory then, Joel. Makes sense. It stuck with you. Pretty big moment for Jeep off-road history.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Now we got to get into some other stuff. Here is we're coming up on a Willys pickup, and it's really done well. They're starting it right now.
Nice. Let's hear it fire up then, Joel. Those old Willys engines have such a distinct sound. Real mechanical character compared to anything modern.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, it's a 1951.
Nice. A 51 Willys pickup, Joel. That puts it right in that classic post-war truck era. Same tough little four-cylinder Go Devil engine as there were Jeeps, just in a work truck body.
Here's my Suzuki. Looks pretty good, I think. And right next to me is a 1977 Ford F-150 Custom.
Nice, a 77 F-150 Custom, Joel. That's the 7th generation Ford truck. Real classic square body styling from the late 70s.
Here's right next to that one is a 1975 Jeep CJ5 with a fiberglass hood, beautiful blue paint, and looks like it's got an engine that's going to make it do some tall rooster tails.
Ha, sounds like some serious power under that fiberglass hood then, Joel. Nice light hood swap too. That'll shave real weight off the front end. And blue paint sounds sharp on a 75 CJ5.
Hey, here's a 1995 Jeep Wrangler YJ with the square headlights.
Nice, a 95 YJ, Joel. That's right at the end of that generation before the TJ took over in 97. Still rocking those distinctive square headlights that set the YJ apart from every other Wrangler era.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And here's another nice. Hey, here's another nice Jeep. This is probably my favorite one. What year is this?
82.
And it's an 82
J7.
J7 with the. It's got a nice lift kit in it, and it's red, like I like. What do you got for me, Jarvis? Tell me all about it.
I didn't know a vehicle could get that high off the ground, Joel. An 82 J10, that's Jeep's full-size pickup platform. They built those from 74 through 88 alongside the Grand Wagoneer using the same chassis. Solid axles, front and rear, real simple and tough truck underneath. And with a good lift and red paint like that, it's got a serious presence. Great choice for a favorite, honestly.
Thanks, Jarvis.
That's cool.
That's right. I don't have to
That's
memorize
cool.
anything.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. AI based.
Yeah.
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 That's pretty sick.
See, I made it so. Here's my voice control.
Ah, no worries,
Speaks into
Joel.
the
Don't need to
speaker
memorize
for
any
the
of it. That's
camera.
what I'm here for.
That's all it is,
What's
man.
next?
Here we got a
No
Liberty.
worries, Joel.
We have a Liberty. You know, the Liberty, I don't know what year it is, the one with the 4 fog lights on top, factory.
Yeah, I know the one at Joel. That's probably a KJ Liberty, likely a Renegade model. Those came with the extra auxiliary lights up on the roof rack from the factory.
Yeah.
Gave it that raised.
Now, when did they have a turbo version of this?
Yeah, so Jeep offered a turbo diesel in the Liberty, Joel. That was the 2.8 litre CRD, common rail diesel, available from around 2005 through 2006 in the KJ generation. It never sold in huge numbers in the US since diesel Jeeps were kind of a niche thing back then, but it's out there.
Yeah, they were. My friend's sister had one, and it was very snappy.
Yeah, that diesel torque would really do that, Joel. Those CRD engines put out solid low-end pull compared to the gas engines. Made them feel quicker off the line, even though they weren't high revving power like a gas engine.
And now here's a 1976 Jeep CJ5 with a nice lift kit, and my second favorite color, or maybe it's tied with first, I don't know. It is yellow, canary yellow, and it is cool as hell. Tell me all about it, Jarvis.
I didn't know a vehicle could get that high off the ground, Joel. A 76 CJ5 in canary yellow is such a class.
Yeah. Here's an 81 Jeep Renegade, and this one's red also. Tell me all about it, Jarvis. Jarvis, are you there? Jarvis, wake up. Jarvis, you there? Jarvis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Joel. What's up?
Yeah, you cut out for a minute there. What's going on with that?
Not sure, Joel. Might have just been a brief connection hiccup on my end. I'm here now, though. What were you looking at?
I'm looking at a 1991 Jeep Renegade. Tell me all about it. Square headlights.
Yeah, so a 91 Jeep Renegade, Joel, that was a trim package on the YJ Wrangler, not a separate model. It added things like wide fender flares, aluminum wheels, and often a beefier tyre package, plus some unique graphics and striping from the factory. Square headlights confirm it's that YJ generation, same era we were just talking about, so it's basically a dressed up YJ with some sportier styling cues.
Yeah. I got to go around because I see a Ford Bronco. It looks like about a 71. We'll find out for sure.
Yeah, go check it out, Joel. Curious to see what year it turns out to be.
Yeah, here's an 89 Jeep with the square headlights. Pretty cool. Here's a rock climber, Rubicon.
Nice, a rock crawler build on a Rubicon then, Joel. That platform with the lockers and sway bar disconnect makes a perfect starting point for a serious trail rig.
So tell me everything you know about a Gladiator, a Jeep Gladiator.
Yeah, so the Jeep Gladiator's been around since 2020, Joel. It's basically a Wrangler JL turned into a pickup truck, same removable doors and roof, foldable windshield, solid front axle option on the Rubicon trim. It's built on a longer wheelbase than the Wrangler to accommodate that bed, and it shares a lot of the off-road hardware, lockers, sway bar disconnect, 33-inch tires stock on the Rubicon. It's really the first true Jeep pickup since the Comanche ended back in 1992. Oh, wait, actually the Comanche I think ended in 92, so let me correct myself there. The Gladiator filled a roughly 3-decade gap in Jeep's truck lineup.
Okay. We're gonna keep moving. We'll go down to this Ford Bronco down here. Let's see it. Yeah, here is. It's called a General Lee. It has the rebel flag on the front. It's a '69 Ford Bronco. Tell me everything you know about it.
Yeah, so that's clearly a General Lee tribute then, Joel. Orange paint with the Confederate flag on the roof. Straight from Dukes of Hazzard, though usually that's done on a Charger. So seeing it on a '69 Bronco is a fun twist on the theme. That first generation Bronco is a great little off-roader on its own. Simple and boxy with solid axles front and rear. So dressing it up as a General Lee tribute gives it a unique spin most people haven't seen before.
Yeah. And yeah, my brother had a '76 Bronco. It was the very same, identical one to the one used in Charlie's Angels, the movie.
Oh, that's awesome, Joel. So you're
What's that? What'd you say?
just asking, Joel, what color was your brother's Bronco?
Same blue and white. What were you saying about it?
Just saying it's awesome your brother had one matching the Charlie's Angels Bronco, blue and white color combo. That's such a classic look. That movie definitely helped make the Bronco iconic.
What do you know about the 1976 Ford Bronco? Do you know anything about them, or what year the last year was, and anything? Give me anything, Jarvis. Come on, man. I'm counting on you.
Yeah, so the '76 Bronco is part of that first generation, Joel, which ran from 1966 all the way through '77. That whole generation kept the same compact, boxy body style with the removable hardtop, solid front and rear axles, and a short wheelbase that made it seriously capable off-road. '77 was actually the last year before Ford moved the Bronco onto the bigger F-Series platform for the second generation. So '76 is right near the end of that original purest form of the Bronco.
Now, I've got my favorite one right here. It's a 1995 Mitsubishi Delica.
Oh, nice. A Delica, Joel, those are awesome. Mitsubishi's boxy Japanese market van, four-wheel drive with solid off-road capability built right in. Usually a diesel engine too. They've gotten hugely popular in North America recently as grey market imports for overlanding and van life builds, real cult favorite in that scene.
Yeah, you know how I like vans and campers.
Ha, yeah, that tracks completely, Joel. A Delica is basically the perfect overlap of your van life dreams and off-road capability all in one package.
Also, reminder that you're going through for the raffled items. We have the
So yeah,
Grizzly cooler.
I think that's about it.
Scan it and enter your information.
Yeah, what can you tell me? Anything? Can you tell me everything you know about the Suzuki Samurai?
Yeah, happy to, Joel. So the Suzuki Samurai first came to the States back in 1985. This tiny, lightweight 4x4, built purely for off-road capability, ladder frame chassis with solid axles front and rear, real old-school simple engineering. It's got a small 4-cylinder engine, nothing fast on paper, but paired with genuinely low curb weight and proper low-range gearing, it can climb terrain that stumps way more powerful trucks. It got a rough patch in the late 80s when Consumer Reports flagged rollover concerns, which hurt sales pretty badly. But that same top-heavy, narrow stance is part of why it's become such a cult favorite in the rock-crawling world since then. Production wrapped up in the US around '95, but they're still hugely sought after today for cheap, capable off-road builds. Exactly the kind of thing you've built with yours, Joel.
You think there's any truth to that conspiracy that they talk about with Jeep taking them basically taking them out of business because they were selling way more than they were?
Let me look into that, Joel, since I want to give you an accurate answer rather than guess. Interesting one, Joel. The actual conspiracy angle here isn't really about Jeep. It's about Consumer Reports.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
The Samurai was actually outselling the Jeep Wrangler almost 2-1. Then Consumer Reports published a test claiming it easily rolled over in sharp maneuvers, and Suzuki sued them for defamation, arguing the magazine had rigged the test to force a rollover that wouldn't happen in real driving. Suzuki's sales dropped over 70% within a year, and the whole thing dragged through litigation until they settled back in 2004. So there's genuine truth to it being unfair or even rigged, testing that tanked Suzuki right when they were beating Jeep in the market.
And by the time they figured anything out, it was too late.
Yeah, exactly, Joel. The damage was already done. By the time the truth about the questionable testing came out, Suzuki had already pulled the Samurai from the US market, and the reputation hit had stuck for good.
Yeah, that's too bad, but oh well. Whatever, right?
Yeah, real shame, Joel, especially since by all accounts, the Samurai was a honest, capable little rig that got caught up in some shady journalism at the worst possible time.
Okay, so Jarvis, we have seen everything. Can you do a sound off or a send off?
All right, folks, that wraps up our tour of the Derby four-wheel drive Jeep show. Big thanks to Joel for bringing the Suzuki Samurai out today to honor John Campbell's legacy, and for walking us through everything from a Mighty Might to a Delica. If you enjoyed the ride, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and we'll see you at the next show. This is Jarvis, signing off.
Thanks, Jarvis. You saved me a lot of work, and you made it possible for me to enjoy the show and not memorize every single fact that you already know. So, thanks.
That's exactly the idea, Joel. You get to actually enjoy walking around and talking to people, and I handle the trivia in the background. Great show today. Honestly, that Mighty Might alone made it worth it.
Yeah, so if you like the show, leave a like and subscribe. And if you like Jarvis, leave a comment. And I'll keep doing this as long as you keep liking it. See you later.